On the 15th day of March 2024, my name is Withpatricia Lukoma. Thank you so much once again for joining us in this news session. Straight away into the bulletin, the National Resistance Movement, that is NRM, supporters from various areas including Kamocha, Kabalagala, Kalerwe and Bukoto have appealed to party leaders to address the issues of members without national identification cards, which is hindering their registration in the NRM Yellow Book. During her visit to these areas, the head of office, in compiling the yellow books, leading to numerous mistakes such as repeated names and others.
Abamu enanga muntu zaabwe bazeewolerako ssente kyekizibu kinene nnyo mu ggwanga muno baziwamba wano we tuli wakwata omuliro abantu ebikumi nga 3 ebintu byabwe byasaanawo wano endanga muntu zajja naye tulina bye tukozesa okugeza omuntu oyo bwe tuba nga tumumanyi nga tumuwekakasa nti wa NRM tumuwandiika yadde talina nnanga muntu.
The national IDs, the ghetto boys, they claim that police confiscated them. The prostitutes claim that they were taken away, I don't know by who. But now we are in a scenario whereby we have thousands or a million plus people who can't register because of that certain aspect. But we have talked to them and we have really encouraged them. We have 3 alternatives, either to persevere till when they get their IDs.
Badde tusaba register eno bongere okubeera nga batereezaamuko kubanga nkakasa osangamu omuntu omu nga bamuwandiisa emirundi 3 ogu naye n'osanga omuntu ayalonda luli ng'ate ye taliimu.
So alternatively they rate or they note down their names on the other side of the book as they wait for their ninis, as they wait to receive national IDs so that they get nini numbers. But as of now, we have no option.
Agenda kola ennaku 5 ngakolera omutwalo gumugumu emitwalo 5 naye ali wano naye abatuuze bafuba ne bamuwakuka okulya tomuwadde kintu kyonna ebizibu byetusanga.
Now, the Archbishop, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, has emphasized the significance of service and love during the Lenten season. Dr. Kazimba was at a Rotary Club of Kampala, Sese Island induction ceremony where he also highlighted his motivation to join Rotary, citing admiration for the organization's community upliftment initiatives.
At the ceremony amidst the induction proceedings, Archbishop Kazimba urged Christians to utilize the Lenten period for spreading love and assisting those in need. Acknowledging the concurrent observance of Lent by Christians and Ramadan by Muslims, Archbishop Kazimba called for productive engagement during this period, rallying for increased participation in Rotary's unselfish endeavors.
Lent season, and that's why I chose this period, because what Rotary is doing is about fulfilling what Lent is requiring. What touches me most is the service they give, service above self. And I'm so grateful that this is what I've been doing, that it's very important to work together, to journey together.
District Governor 9213 Edward Kakembo Nsubuga elaborated on Rotary's extensive community projects, emphasizing the expectation for new members to contribute actively to societal improvements.
At Rotary, we work within the 7 areas of focus, which is providing clean water, taking care of the environment, economic empowerment, basic education, literacy, disease treatment, peace and conflict resolution. Of course, the new members, they are going to add value to Rotary, but also expect Rotary to add value on them. The many we are the merrier, because when they come together, there are so many problems about the world. But when we are so many joining together, then we shall be able to reach far and apart.
President of the Rotary Club Sese Islands, Irene Nabayunga, and Minister for Works and Transport, General Katumba Wamala, underscored the importance of government collaboration to bolster community projects, particularly emphasizing the need for safe drinking water initiatives, among others.
Of course, people may say, but this is a responsibility of government. Government should provide schools. Yes, it's a responsibility of government, but government cannot be. Whose government after all? We are government. And government may not be everywhere. So if you can contribute 1,000 shillings and cumulatively they make a difference in some corner of the country, that's a very big achievement.
Let us continue working together. Let all of us come together in this movement which consolidates little by little, one by one makes a bundle, and eventually we deliver services to our community.
More Ugandans are urged to follow suit and join Rotary, echoing Archbishop Kazimba's call to action for collective service and compassion. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
And in the health sector, the Ministry of Health has announced an outbreak of a strange red eye disease in different parts of the country. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Diana Atwine, has called on the public to be vigilant and uphold some guidelines related to the fight against COVID-19, especially washing of hands regularly. So far, the ministry has registered over 900 cases.
The detection of the red eyes epidemic among schools and other congregation places has raised tension among the public. The Ministry of Health has confirmed reported cases of over 900 and given preventative measures.
It has been detected in some schools in Kampala, in Wakiso. Our Director of Public Health has been tasked to go and check the extent.
Investigations have been ongoing. We've picked samples and taken them to our lab, specifically to tell you anything, but for us to be able to know what kind of infection we are dealing with, so that we can distinguish between whether it's viral or bacterial. This infection has been reported in prisons in different parts of the country, but it's also now been reported recently in schools in Kampala, and so we are following shortly to see and continue to get a complete picture.
Red eyes disease has been detected in schools around Kampala Metropolitan. Rosilla Prison, Padel Prison, Lira Main Prison, Kassanda Prison, Kawel Prison, Erut Prison, Kampala Remand Prison, and Makishon Bay Prison.
Where we have congregated populations, it was first reported in prisons, and now we are receiving reports from certain congregated institutions like schools. We know that this disease can be spread from one person to another, and the numbers will quickly increase. This disease presents with people having red eyes, the eyes are itching them, and they are tempted to scratch them.
The Commissioner of Public Health, Dr. Daniel Chabayins, advises the public to uphold personal hygiene, especially washing hands regularly.
Back in the habit of washing and sanitizing their hands, and to prevent touching the eyes, because by touching surfaces where somebody else has had red eyes at sat or been, and then you touch your eyes, then you will transfer the disease to yourself, you will infect yourself. So the key message is to make sure we prevent this kind of.
Those with signs of red eyes are advised to isolate and seek medical attention, and the public is cautioned on shaking hands.
So we require people to keep personal hygiene, keep the hands clean, not touch or rub them, and those who are sick should stay home so that they don't be part of the people spreading the disease from one another. In schools, the parents should be able to isolate their children who already have signs.
The disease is contagious with high-speed spread rate, and all public gathering places are advised to install washing hands points.
But what we want to remind the public is that wash your hands. If you have red eyes, actually don't go to be with the rest, because you may not avoid touching, you know. But even if you find yourself with someone with red eyes, you can actually avoid red eyes by simply observing washing your hands all the time. And you can be safe.
For schools in Kampala Metropolitan where this contagious disease has been detected, students with signs are isolated, while others are sent back home. Abdul Nasir Lubama for UBC.
Well, thank you very much there, Abdul Nasir Dwama. Now, Parliament has initiated public consultations on the Anti-Counterfeit Goods Bill 2023. The bill tabled by Wajiri Municipality Member of Parliament Asumani Basalirwa aims to safeguard legitimate businesses by prohibiting counterfeit goods in the country.
The accused include Ezaluku Kazamiro, Mustafa Nyende, Abdara Waiswa, Minsa Otaire, Freddy Bazibo, Kabla Henry, among others, who have appeared before Chief Magistrate Joan Asiro at the Anti-Corruption Court for the ruling on their bail application. However, prosecution initially objected to some of the accused's sureties, such as Omaru Chigumba, who failed to present a police warrant card as proof of identity.
And in the event that court finds it proper to grant bail to the accused persons, I pray for very stringent terms that will compel the accused persons to attend court proceedings whenever required.
After reviewing the submissions, Magistrate Joanne Asiro granted bail to the accused, each required to pay 5 million Ugandan shillings in cash.
This 5 million shillings, if you attend court till the end, you don't abscond, at the end of the day, is refunded to you. In any case, you are arrested and brought back here, the possibility of your bail being cancelled is almost like 99.9. And then for the sureties, each of you is bonded to 300 million shillings, not cash.
The court also ordered those with passports to deposit them with the court. All the accused pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences. Prosecution alleges that the 1.262 billion Ugandan shillings were deducted from teachers' salaries in Ibujiri and Madi Okole districts. Prosecution further alleges that the accused, along with others still at large, committed the said offences between March 2019 and December 2022. Magistrate Joanne Asira adjourned the case to May 2, 2024 for mention. The accused were arrested by the Inspectorate of Government Office. Meanwhile, at the City Hall Magistrates Court, before Magistrate Rehema Nasozi, 11 security guards working with the Mon Security Company have been charged and remanded for forcible entry.
Between the 1st and 11th of March 2024 at Ntinda, Nakawa Division in the Kampala district, in order to take possession thereof, you entered into the land on plot 106, Chira, Old Chira Ntinda, of Eliba Simon Oresh and Evelyn Atim Magom in a violent manner. Is that true? Let's start with Semakula Godsako.
The accused, represented by their lawyer Muganga Evarist, were not granted bail as they failed to present substantial sureties. Prosecution led by Nyamwangusho Masai informed court that investigations into the case are ongoing and asked court for more time. The accused, visibly emotionally, were remanded to Rizila Government Prison until March 20th, 2024. On Tuesday, the 11 were arrested by police, together with the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, while guarding a land involving a dispute between the family of the late engineer John Olecho and Sulaiman Semakula Liars Sema property. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogode, UBC News.
The Ministry of Energy is advocating for an amendment to the current Atomic Energy Act number 24 to align with the international standards. The proposed amendment aims to strengthen the legal framework concerning crucial aspects, essentially in the application of nuclear technology. These aspects, including safety, safeguards, security, and liability, are presently lacking in the existing legislation.
Experts in the nuclear industry have convened to discuss the impending nuclear law as Uganda moves towards developing a nuclear power program. The proposed amendments aim to enhance the legal framework concerning critical elements in the application of nuclear technology, addressing deficiencies in the current law.
The country is yearning for power. hydropower has issues. When drought comes, you are not sure of the amount of the volumes of water that you will get. Those are hydrological issues that affect hydropower generation. So that's why we can't ignore the other sources like geothermal, like nuclear. So we can't retrieve. We have to save our forests. We have to make sure that we distribute power to the last mile consumer.
Minister Nankabira urged experts to ensure that all provisions in the amended law are implementable.
So let all factors be captured, and then the minister will come up with the regulations to make sure that the law is implementable.
The International Atomic Energy Agency, in collaboration with the Atomic Energy Council, underscores the urgency of identifying necessary legislations to keep pace with the energy transition journey.
Amendments is just strengthen the provisions which are there mainly, and then to ensure that they cover nuclear facilities like nuclear power, waste management facilities, and the rest of it. That covers the whole nuclear fuel cycle. Initially, the whole fuel cycle was not considered much, but this time it is put under consideration when drafting the law. Also, in the amendment, we want to try as much as possible to domesticate the provisions in the international conventions that Uganda is already party to.
Several regulations have been developed, some currently undergoing redrafting by the first Parliamentary Council. 19
regulations, specific practice regulations are being developed, and they are at different stages. A big number of them are already at the first Parliamentary Council for legal drafting, other than in the process. Then on the international conventions, we have ratified a number of those conventions, but not all. So what we are doing now is to see that these relevant conventions for which we have not ratified, efforts are made to ratify them.
As Uganda progresses towards global nuclear power development to meet its energy needs, establishing a robust legal framework is crucial. The 3-day meeting aims to raise awareness among stakeholders in the nuclear industry regarding the comprehensive nature of nuclear law and the integration of international legal instruments. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
And with that story, we take a short break, but we do return with more news. Stay with us.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Peoples of Eastern Uganda segment. How have they negotiated the colonial border that divided the Luya nation into two countries?
The Vasamia, Babukusu, the Bagwe, the Bamasaba, all belonging to the Valuya
of Kenya.
The last man to be identified as a Mugisu was Masaba.
He just emerged from the ground like a mushroom.
The confluence and hybridity of the peoples of the Great Lakes region come alive in eastern Uganda.
Of course, the true Baganda, they know that they originated in Mount Elgon region.
Share language with Bagwere.
Premiering on Saturday, the 23rd of March 2024 at the National Theatre from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko pamoja?
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *185*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Welcome back from that short break. As we continue, the Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has launched a sanitation fund project valued at $5 million with a counter funding of $1.5 million from the Ugandan government. Dr. Acheng made these remarks during the launch of the National Sanitation Week, emphasizing that Sanitation and Hygiene Fund will supplement government efforts to ensure healthy and productive lives. Well, it's time for us to look at what's happening in the world of business. For decades, Uganda has heavily rallied on imported vehicles, many of which run on diesel or petrol. However, this narrative is gradually shifting with the emergency of electric cars and motorbikes, which are beginning to make their presence felt on Ugandan roads, with some even being produced locally. Mark Arnold Wadulo has more.
Due to excessive global pollution, mainly from the manufacturing and automobile sectors, 196 countries became signatories to the 2015 Paris Agreement at COP21, agreeing to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. To meet these goals, global carbon dioxide emissions need to be reduced by 45% by 2030 from 2010 levels and reach net zero emissions by 2050, prompting a turning point for the automobile sector.
We are not cutting off even fossil fuel immediately. We are still using it as we are discovering this. We replace, that's why people are talking 2040, 2050 in order to get all the solutions solved using cleaner sources of energy.
Chira Motors unveiled their first electric vehicle prototype in 2011, followed by its hybrid predecessor in 2014, tailored for the African market.
I'm cruising the Kia EV. This is ours.
They also ventured into manufacturing electric buses. However, a new excitement arose last year when foreign companies Nissan and Toyota launched their first electric cars on the Ugandan market. At first glance, this fully electric Nissan Ariya looks similar to its petrol counterparts, until you raise its bonnet.
You charge from here, the power goes in. Our power is not really stable and you don't want to waste the batteries.
How much does a car like this go for now in Uganda?
This car here is $57,000 and the other big one is $98,000.
Amounting in Ugandan shillings like how much?
About 215.
Most electric cars today can travel over 200 kilometers before needing a charge. But questions about their sustainability and affordability arise due to their price and electric nature.
What we are trying to talk and what we are influencing as engineers is to tell government, you are distributing power, but you need to empower the local person so that he has capacity to pay for that unit. And there is a need also to reduce on the cost of production of that power and the cost of sale of that unit. So it's the government that needs to come in.
2023 had been projected to be the year that electric vehicles take off globally. However, in sub-Saharan Africa, more so countries like Uganda, the challenge of the high cost of these vehicles and the wanting road infrastructure still hinders the growth and takeoff of this sector. Based on experience, Zembo, a pioneer in the electric boda motorcycle subsector since 2019, aims to produce over 12,800 electric motorcycles, replacing imported petrol ones.
Because it requires big investment. We estimate completely converting the boda industry to electric, based on our monthly imports of around 12,000 motorcycles, petrol per month. Replacing those with electric and building the infrastructure to go with it would be about $40 million USD per month of investment. So someone has to finance that. So I see a big opportunity for the financial sector as well to support us who are doing the work of actually building things and installing things.
Chiera EV is already setting up infrastructure that most players are likely to replicate.
This fast charging station converts that AC power into DC power, and then we use that DC to charge the battery of the bus, because the bus uses a battery and batteries use DC power.
However, one may wonder why the informal but skilled fabricators in Uganda are not prominently involved in this revolutionary electric vehicle journey.
Each automobile industry will create over 100 different industries that feed into that. And we have already started at the university to make sure that the engineers understand this, but also at Katwe. And at Independence, we launched our first vehicle, which is a blend of this, because they have something they know, but they need engineering to bring it together. They have the hands-on, which is lacking in the universities, and but they don't have the engineering.
The electric vehicle subsector holds promise not only for reducing dependence on fossil fuels, but also for stimulating economic growth and fostering environmental stewardship. Wadulo Makanold for UBC Business.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime news. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Let's meet again at 8 and 10. Good afternoon.